Hello and welcome to my channel LearnTeachShare. This is a part of Jenkins video tutorial series, and in this tutorial we will learn about Jenkins pipelines and Jenkinsfile. Moreover, we will create a pipeline project in Jenkins and learn to define the pipeline script using two different approaches. The first approach we will be using is the pipeline script, which is the script that will be embedded in the pipeline configuration. The other one is the Jenkins pipeline script from SCM, which involves integration of a source code management system such as Git. In our case, I will be using Git and GitHub as the source code repository. In addition, we will look into a Jenkins plugin called Pipeline Graph View, which works with pipeline project in Jenkins. So let's get started. You can see the dashboard of Jenkins on the screen. To create a pipeline project, I will click on the New Item menu. Here, I will provide this pipeline project a name. I will also need to select Pipeline as the project type and then click on the OK button. This is the pipeline project configuration page. You might have already noticed that there are only 3 sections of configuration in a pipeline project configuration, where in case of freestyle project, there were more than 3 sections. In a pipeline project configuration, pipeline section is the most important one. If you recall, we had build steps in freestyle project type configuration. I will quickly provide a short description to this project. I will leave all other settings to their default state and jump directly to the pipeline section. Under pipeline, we can select a definition from this drop-down menu. There are 2 definitions, namely pipeline script and pipeline script from SCM. This pipeline script from SCM involves integration of a source code management system such as Git and use of a source code repository. We will look into this definition a little later in this video. First of all, let's see how this pipeline script definition works. In the pipeline script definition, we can embed the pipeline script directly here in this text area, or in other words, we can say that we can embed the script directly in the configuration. There are also 3 sample pipelines available here for us to get an idea of how a pipeline script looks like. We will try with the Hello World pipeline since this is the simplest one here. A Jenkins pipeline begins with the keyword pipeline, and there are blocks inside it. The blocks are delimited by a pair of curly brackets or braces. In a Jenkins pipeline, there are stages. For the pipeline to perform some job, it should have at least a single stage, but we can have many stages as we want. Normally, if we talk about software automation in a pipeline, we will have 3 stages, namely build, test, and deploy. In our case of this Hello World pipeline, we have a single stage called Hello. And this stage has a single step which echoes the text Hello World. Here is the agent any line, which means it will run on any available agent. We can also restrict the execution of this pipeline to specific agents by providing the label of the agents. We will look into that later when we talk about pipeline script from SCM. I will save this and build it. From the build history, we can see that the pipeline job succeeded. We can also see a graphical representation here for the pipeline. This is called the stage view, and this is a Jenkins plugin which works with pipeline project. Later on, we will also look into another Jenkins plugin which works with Jenkins Pipeline, and it is called Pipeline Graph View. We can see that it shows the stage here. We had a single stage hello, and it ran for 37 milliseconds. We can also see the logs from here directly. It showed or printed the text hello world. Now let's go back to our configuration. This time in the pipeline section, I will select pipeline script from SCM. And I will select Git as the SCM because this is the only SCM plugin I have installed at the moment. Another option would be SVN, but Git has been predominantly a popular choice. I need to provide the repository URL where my pipeline script can be found. For this purpose, I have already created a GitHub repository. This repository has a file called Jenkinsfile. The pipeline script naming has been Jenkinsfile as a tradition. However, we can provide any other name for this Jenkins file. Having said that, it is a good idea to append the word Jenkins file in the file name so that it is easier for us to know that the file is a Jenkins file. This Jenkins file is a little bit more complex than the one that we have seen earlier in the Hello World pipeline. We have defined an agent here with the label test node. So this pipeline will run only in the node or agent that has the label test node. In this pipeline, we have build stage, test stage, and archive stage. This build stage creates a file called important_file.txt and adds some text to it. The test stage tests whether 5 is equal to 5 or not. There is this script block inside the steps in this test stage, and the script used here is a Groovy script. If you don't know what Groovy script is, it is an extension of Java used for scripting. The stage archive artifacts, in fact, archives the artifacts. So in our case, it will archive any file that has the text important. And it also stores the fingerprint for this file. I will copy the HTTPS URL from here, paste it here. Next, we need to provide the branch. In my case, the branch is main. So I need to change this master to main. Then here is the script path where we need to provide the path to the Jenkins file. By default, it writes a Jenkins file as path. However, if our Jenkins file has a different name or a different path, we need to provide that path. Let's say our Jenkins file is inside some subfolder called pipelines. Then it should be like this. There is also this pipeline syntax available here, which comes handy if you do not know how to write pipeline script or how to write scripts in a pipeline file. We will look into this in some other video. So I will save this configuration and build the pipeline once again. We can see that the pipeline succeeded from this build history as well as from this graphical view here. So in our pipeline script, we had build stage, test stage, and archive artifacts stage. All of these stages were successful. We can see this using these color codes. This green means it was successful. We can also see the logs directly from here for each step. For example, in the archive artifacts stage, archiving artifacts and recording fingerprints. Let's have a look in the complete console log output. Here we can see that it is running on the test node. So this node has the label of test underscore node. We can also see that by clicking on this link. So this is the label for this agent test node. I'll go back. Then it has some Git related outputs. It also displays this latest commit message. One thing here in this view is that we can see that there is a stage called declarative checkout SCM. We had not defined this in our pipeline script. However, this stage was added for us by Jenkins based on the pipeline script definition. And you can see that there was a archive artifacts stage which archived this important file.txt. Next, we will look into a Jenkins plugin called Pipeline Graph View. So I'll go to the dashboard, manage Jenkins menu, and here in the plugins, here we have all the plugins that are either ready for updates or the plugins that are installed in our system or the plugins that are available for our system. I will select this available plugins and search for Pipeline Graph View. We can see about the plugin by clicking in the plugin's name. This page gives an overview of what is this and how to use it, for example. So this is an example of a simple pipeline, and this is an example of a little bit more complex pipeline. I will select this and install it. We have two options. We can install this without a restart or download now and install after restart. Some plugins require restart, while some plugins do not require any restart after its installation. I'll try with the install without restart. It is downloading and the download has been successful. In case you encounter some kind of error in this stage, refer to the details of the error and follow its instruction. Then restart Jenkins from here. I will go back to dashboard, then to the pipeline project demo. We can see a new menu appearing here. This is the plugin that we just installed. So we had two pipeline builds and it shows the pipeline builds in this kind of view. Let's run this once again. And it is a success. If we go to the stages view, now we can see the three builds. This was all for the Jenkins video tutorial on Jenkins pipelines and Jenkinsfile. If you found this video useful and would like to view similar videos on Jenkins as well as other stuffs related to DevOps and programming, do like and share my videos as well as subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video.